Hi guys, Mark here, hope you're all well today. Well, we're here at Crescent Honda again, here in the south of England, and today we're taking out the Honda CRF300L. Stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Okay then guys, let's have a look around the CRF300L and just run through the specifications on it. So these are coming in at £5,149, which is pretty good value considering what you're getting here. They're Euro 5 for this year. We've got the ultra reliable 286cc single cylinder 4-stroke double overhead cam, and that's grown in size by 36cc by last year. Power is up this year, 27 horsepower at 8,500 RPM, and torque is up as well, 26 Newton meters at 6,500 RPM. Got a 7.8 litre fuel tank on these, quite a small tank, but these are very economical, these bikes, giving about 80 to 85 miles per gallon UK, 32 kilometers per litre, so you should get a range of around about 130 miles out of the tank. These are nice and light, these bikes, 142 kilos wet weight, so ideal if you're going to take it down some light trails. 880mm seat on these, pretty tall, but don't be too worried about that because the seat is nice and narrow at the front here, so it doesn't push your legs out, and the suspension is really soft, so when you sit on it, it really does sink down. Have a look at me on the bike and just notice how much the suspension sinks down. I'm 5'7" tall with a 30-inch inside leg, so just to give you an idea of how I fit on the bike. Got a 6-speed gearbox on these, very slick shifting. Tyres on these, we've got a skinny section, 80 section on the front on a 21-inch spoked wheel, and a 120 section on the rear, 18-inch wheel. So lighter chassis this year, it's lost 4 kilos in weight, slimmer bodywork, more power and torque. Got 285mm of ground clearance there, so that's good for off-roading. 43mm Showa upside down forks. Lots of nice travel there. So for this year we've also got a new dash. Just got a gear position indicator now, which is all good. Run through that a bit later on. So these are really popular bikes, low depreciation, most owners absolutely love them to bits. Quite a lot of people do fit an aftermarket shock though. It's one of the popular mods to do on these. So for $6,099 you can get the rally version, which comes, it's more sort of off-road focused. It's got longer suspension, comes with a windshield. It's got a bigger tank and LED lights. Colour wise, these are just available in the red. Alright guys, time for the test ride. Right then, Honda CRF300L test ride. So quite a tall seat on this, it's a little bit of a stretch to get your leg over for a shorter rider like me, but once you're on it, it sinks right down with that soft rear suspension and everything's nice. I'm very nearly flat-footed, not quite, at 5'7" with a 30-inch inside leg. So very simple controls here, couldn't be more basic really. No rider modes, no electronic suspension, no adjustable clutch, just for adjustment here, but no span adjustment. High and low beam, horn, turn indicators, key for the ignition, kill switch, hazards and start, and non-adjustable front brake lever. New screen for this year, LCD, fuel gauge, clock, LCD rev counter, speedo, odometer, miles per gallon and gear indicator, and we've got an ABS on and off there. So start it up, straight away fires into life. Obviously a single cylinder, you can really feel that thump, that throb. Sounds pretty good actually. Okay, so feels very, very light. Nice easy pull away. Very, very light assist and slip clutch and slipper clutch. So 27 horsepower, but lots of torque from this single cylinder engine. Okay, so we're just out on the open road now on the CRF300, and we'll just run through all the bike in the usual fashion. So the mirrors, yeah, they're pretty decent. Different shape to what I've normally seen on Hondas. Can see a little bit of my elbows, but generally a good view behind, and no vibrations from the single cylinder getting into them, so all very clear on the mirrors. That's good. So obviously no windscreen on this bike. It's very, very upright position, very comfortable. I'm just sort of cruising along here at 55, an easy 55, just over 5,000 revs in top gear. Obviously a nice wind blast hitting me in the chest, but it's not turbulent, it's just very smooth. All in all, absolutely very acceptable. A new dash for this year, very, very clear, nice bright LCD. Bit different to the LCDs of earlier sort of like CBR 500s. This one's very clear. You can see all the useful information, speedo, rev counter. It's currently showing me a mind-blowing 96, nearly 97 miles per gallon UK. So performance of this engine is 286cc, 27 horsepower. It's very keen. It's not going to set the world alight, but for what it's built for, you know, a dual sport bike for off-road trail riding, it's really good. It's got plenty of torque. It's very smooth at this sort of revs. All I can feel is a little tiny sort of throb through the foot pegs. Not nasty vibration at all, just a nice kind of gentle hum, and a tiny bit through the bars. Later on we'll take it onto the motorway and see what it's like at higher speeds, but all in all, very smooth and civilised. Gearbox, obviously no quick shifter on this, it's all built to a price. The gearbox is very positive, smooth shifting, and the clutch is about the lightest you could possibly get. So fifth gear now, we're just winding it open, 7,000 RPM, 60 miles an hour, just under 6,000 revs. No more vibrations, still pretty smooth. Very good indeed. Right, we'll just try a brake test. Single disc on the front here, long travel suspension, front brake only. Yeah, not bad, not like mind-blowing, but I mean, as again, you know, it suits this bike really, so perfectly adequate for this sort of bike. Back brake's good, it's got a lot of bite to it, I like that. Now if you've never ridden a bike like this before, sort of an off-road style dual sport, it's very, very soft in the suspension. You know, it would be great for road riding on rough surfaces, but it does kind of pogo quite a bit. There's very skinny front section, front tyre. It does feel a little bit vague if you take corners very tightly, but you know, obviously it's a sort of off-road, semi-knobbly tyre, so you've just got to watch the front a bit. It's a little bit vague, but all in all, just for general bimbling along like this, absolutely fine. Okay, so we're just on a motorway now. We're just going to try out the higher speed cruising ability of the CRF300. Not probably a bike that you'd use for really long trips, but just wanted to see what it would be like at sort of 70 mile an hour if you had to do, say, 50 miles, 100 miles, that sort of thing. So we're here at 70 mile an hour and we are in 6th gear, just under 7,000 RPM, and it's holding its own pretty well actually. A few little vibes coming through the bars and the pegs, but nothing to worry about whatsoever. Generally on the whole feeling very smooth. Wind blast totally acceptable. I would say the top speed of this is around about 85, so you've got a little bit of power left for overtaking at this speed. I've been on this for a couple of hours now, and the seat is comfortable. Didn't think it would be, but it's proved to be pretty good for the duration of my ride. It's quite firm, but it's quite narrow at the front. There's plenty of room to move about. Leg position on this bike is really good. Obviously being a tall kind of dirt style bike, there's plenty of room to move your legs about, so if you were 6 foot tall, you'd totally get on with this 100%. So we'll just slow this down a little bit. So there we go, sort of 65, 6,000 RPM. A little bit happier, a bit more relaxed. Yeah, all in all, very easy cruising, guys, on this. No problem at all if you wanted to do go a bit further afield. I did forget to mention earlier, these are the indicators. They're constantly on, quite faintly, just as an extra sort of to make you more visible. That's an interesting thing. We'll just open it up a bit. So yeah, it's got plenty of pull. 7,000 revs. Yeah, all in all, guys, absolutely fine for motorway work. Great stuff. Okay, catch you in a bit. So as I said earlier, a lot of owners, they choose to change the rear shock on these. Nothing really wrong with this, it does the job, but you get better performance, I think, from an aftermarket one for off-road use. So riding position on this, as I said earlier, very tall, very upright, nice wide bars. The beauty with this bike is it's very light, about 142 kilos, so it feels feather light beneath you. Absolutely no effort whatsoever to manoeuvre it or to turn. Very good in that respect. Nice wide bars, all very easy, basic controls. Very good indeed. So we're just dropping it down the gearbox. All very smooth and slick and positive. It does make a very nice noise from this single cylinder engine. So we're just trundling through a town now. We'll just check the fueling, slow it right down. So we're in 4th gear now, 30 mile an hour, just under 4,000 revs. Holding that very nicely. It's not too kind of lumpy. Feels very happy at this sort of speed. Throttle response is nice and mellow, not too snatchy at all, just right. Plenty of pull from low RPM. So we're into 5th gear now. It's still holding that well, just over 3,000 revs. I think 4th gear it's happier at low speeding. It's nice because you've got the big 21-inch front wheel with the long travel soft suspension, and any bump you hit, it's just like riding on a magic carpet. So just giving it some power now. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty impressive for a little single cylinder. So brakes are pretty decent, suspension's very soft, and the engine's very, very keen as well. Let's try a little bit of an acceleration test. Second gear now, winding it open, into third gear, fourth, it's 50 miles an hour, and there's your 60. So it's quite rapid, more than adequate for this sort of style bike. But it's got a really nice character from that single cylinder just throbbing away beneath. So I'll just drop it down the gearbox a bit, get the revs up. 7,000 now. A little bit more buzzy coming through the bars and the pegs, but all in all very, very acceptable. Obviously you've got the Honda build quality with these things are about as reliable as you can ever get. It's a very, very popular for people that want to do green laning and ride off-road, because you know you can ride to your off-road destination quite happily like this, and then go off-road, and then you're back on road and ride home again. So it's a great choice for that sort of thing. As I said, Honda have priced it quite well, and with the new upgrades for this year, the bigger engine, lighter weight, it really is a great bike in my opinion. Alright guys, we'll just do the little walk around at the end here. Do love these single cylinders. This would sound pretty good with a aftermarket on it, I think, aftermarket exhaust. Right, let's just see what it's like into neutral. Yeah, very easy. Just let you have a little look at that dash. This is a bit annoying, but it's obviously the brake line going down to the front forks there. Lovely. Big side stand. Ooh. Very, very easy to push around, as you can imagine, at 142 kilos. Okay, let's have a little walk around this beauty. So no LEDs. Comes with LEDs on the rally version. No LED indicators. All very basic stuff. So I'm just looking for what brand these tyres are. HRC or something like that. Can't quite see. Anyway, never mind. IRC. Never heard of those before. You may want to change those. Anyway, alright guys. Let's have a look around this machine. Nice little sight gas for checking the oil. Passenger foot pegs. Got convenient helmet lock there. Bungee points. That looks like a toolkit. That's good. Obviously chain driven. Adjustable for preload rear shock in there. Looks like a 2-piston caliper. Yeah, 2-piston sliding caliper front brake. There you go guys, Honda CRF300L, kindly loaned to me by Crescent Honda. So what do you think of these? Have you got one? Are you getting one? Have you got the older 250? The 250s are brilliant as well. Post your comments down below, let me know what you think. And please like, share and subscribe as always. And I'll catch you again in a week or two for another test ride review. This is Mark signing off. Cheers guys, all the best, bye bye.